Hello and welcome to Globaleye's weekly review of the main business and economic stories making the headlines. Joining me this week to discuss these matters is our senior wealth manager, Simon Putt. Simon, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's start with some geopolitical news making the headlines. We had some saber rattling in North Korea and some issues with Afghanistan. How will that impact, do you think, the markets when they open after the holiday weekend?
Well, first things first, you'd have expected the markets to have been very jumpy during the course of last week. This all manifested itself during the last week. As you say, North Korea, the US sending warships to patrol the seas nearby. Over a week ago, we had the missiles rain down upon Syria, and then the mother of all bombs dropped on Afghanistan. As I say, you would expect the markets to start taking this very negatively. Anything that's uncertain creates uncertainty in the markets is going to be negative for the markets. But then markets were very boring last week. We're down a little bit, but not noticeably. As far as the coming week is concerned, coming off the back of the holiday, unless there's an escalation in these developments, there's not really a lot to move the markets around too much. As far as the last week is concerned, we noticed that safe haven assets did particularly well. So US Treasuries benefited, the Japanese yen, gold did well. So there's something there at least to keep the market stabilized. But as I say, it's going to require probably something very drastic to get the markets out of this feeling that they're in at the moment. And I suppose what it comes down to is markets still feel good about the global economy. The numbers are still good. We've got meetings in the coming week, IMF and World Bank meetings, and Christine Lagarde has already come out and said that economies in the developed world and the emerging markets are likely to do well and grow this year. So you can say that the markets are much more focused on economic fundamentals than they are all the noise and geopolitical heat that's being created at the moment.
And I think there's an issue here. When President Trump came in, he accused the Chinese of manipulating currency. He said the Federal Reserve chairperson, Janet Yellen, she was toast. And we've seen him roll back from those positions last week, haven't we? And maybe we're seeing the start of a more traditional Republican presidency from Donald Trump.
Yeah, maybe. I think in the end the markets are just sort of getting used to the fact that he does gyrate. He will go backwards and forwards. I mean, who's to say he's not going to reverse these positions? He also likes NATO, having spoken out against NATO in the campaign. I mean, as far as the psychology of the man is concerned, there'll be plenty of other people who can talk at length about what's motivated some of the things he said, whether it was campaign rhetoric, vote-winning strategies. I think it's probably fair to say, as you observe, he's becoming a little bit more pragmatic. You could even say perhaps he's growing into the job. He's taking a little bit more advice from those around him. Let's hope this is the beginning of a more stable and predictable president.
Let's turn to the UK. Last week we're starting to see signs of increasing inflationary pressures in the United Kingdom. 2.3% was the inflation rate, and that combined with slow growth rate in wages in the UK. What does that bode well for the UK economy?
Not terribly. We begin to see the warning signs coming through. What is this going to lead to? It's more expensive to go shopping and people haven't got as much money in their pocket. It's going to create discontent and people are going to become more irritable, more impatient with the government, with the Brexit process, with the weak currency even. This does not bode well, and I think frankly this is something that the UK is going to have to get used to throughout the next 2 years at least as far as the Brexit process is concerned.
Simon, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.